with my good buddy Chase Merriman. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on? Happy Christmas, Kwanzaa, Boxing Day, Hanukkah. I don't even know. There's so many other holidays week.
I know. It's Christmas on Sunday. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
So I have a lot to vent about. not really to vent about, but I had an experience. I think you saw it on my Facebook earlier today. So fucking nuts. But guys,
I'm so jealous you got to witness what I
I
saw
know,
you.
right?
Oh my god.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I don't think I have.
And like, I'm sure everybody's wondering, just in anticipation what this is. But I'm going to get to my little my Walmart adventure that I had today. Before we get into anything, guys, I just want to thank you guys for all your listens, your downloads, your subscriptions, for all past episodes. Check us out at hardcoregeekcast.com. We are on iTunes and Podbean, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, everywhere your favorite.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And one of my favorite podcast apps, other than right here in Spreaker, is Podcast Republic. Really love them. They do a great job, but we're on there too. Pretty much, yeah. We're pretty much everywhere, guys. We're on Twitter and Facebook at at HC Geekcast. I'm forgetting our own Twitter handles here. Also on Instagram as well is hardcore_geek_podcast.
It's a lot of underscores.
And there's a lot of underscores, but I don't know. It was giving me a little hard time, but I wanted to make it. So, dude, have you?
World.
Yeah, Wally World. First of all, have you pulled like a Clark Griswold and lost your fucking mind already for this holiday season?
Not as bad as apparently my mom, because I got a text from my mom at like 7 o'clock tonight. My mom's like, "Your father's sick. Christmas is Sundays. I just want it to be normal. I can't wait till he retires and everybody gets a gift card." I'm like, okay. So apparently my mom has lost her mind. My sister hasn't yet. I'm okay so far. Mine pretty much is where I work at. I pretty much bought everybody's gifts from where I work, so it was kind of easy on that aspect. But I know, of course, where you work at, it's a little bit harder because you can't really be like, here's a loan or something like that.
Yeah, dude, it's not even like that, man. I actually work is fine. Work is like super slow, so it doesn't even do that. But we finally this week we finished all of our shopping, and I got like some last minute things today. I got a holiday party tomorrow at work, and so I had to go. I volunteered for a potluck that we're gonna make some buffalo chicken dip. I'm gonna make it. So so that being said, I went to Walmart today to get the ingredients. Because I wanted to get a little something like last minute stocking stuffers, just like little shit, And I'm like, how bad could it be? Didn't even think about it, right?
Like, how packed was the parking lot?
This is where I find my adventure here. It was kind of packed. It wasn't that bad. I mean, I don't mind walking
because that's a big parking lot.
It's a giant parking lot, and this is like a super duper Walmart. I think they're all super duper.
They're
Walmarts.
pretty much all almost super centers now. Yeah.
So I'm walking in, and like, mind you, I'm getting like just ingredients for a dip, so maybe some tortilla chips and like 2 stocking stuffers, right? And some fucking Werther's Originals because I love those things.
Those are the best.
So I'm walking in, I hear like these people just laying on their horns. I'm like, what the frick is going on? I'm like, maybe somebody stepped in front of somebody, maybe somebody got cut off. I keep walking, I hear these people screaming at each other, screaming. It is 2 elderly folks.
When you say elderly, are we talking like 70?
I'm talking like don't fall because you're going to break your hip.
Oh, that's elderly.
Arguing, that's my spot. The other person, I'm waiting for somebody. They're fighting over a parking spot. Mind you, it's a handicap spot.
Oh.
They get out. There's a scuffle between these 2 elderly dudes. You want to know where the scuffle took place? Inside an empty parking space, right next to it. I'm looking at it, and some people like immediately came over, kind of like broke it up, and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. And I'm like, I'm walking into this place right now. I'm like, I had to get the stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I walked in, got my stuff. It's fine, whatever. I see like, I think I counted maybe 5 or 6 teeth total in the entire store. I don't understand people using those little buggy things when they don't need them.
I always laugh at those.
It's like, come on, man. I mean, I want one just so I can drive it around like an asshole.
Yeah.
But like,
the people who like use it, you can tell they probably could walk and they'd be okay.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I would just drive it around as fast as I can. You know, I would just, like I said, I would just be an asshole with it. But yeah, that's holiday shopping and Christmas shopping. You know, it's done. I got 2 more days of work. I just got to power through this shit.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's just it's fucking torture. But
this is
it
like
is what it
always
is.
like the longest like 2 weeks because it's like towards the end of the year, and it's always like people are doing their end of the year reviews, or there's it's a Christmas shopping, and just the days just drag on and on and on. So yeah, it's one of those like to where right now it's like you're just ready for it to like just end.
Yeah, and we got that, and then we got our New Year's party coming up next week. We're gonna do a live recording. I don't know how. I think I'm just gonna do it on my phone. It's gonna walk up to drunk people in my house and just let them just blurt random obscenities.
Oh, that's right.
Live on the air.
I have like lots of beer I could bring.
Yeah,
I have Great Lakes Christmas Ale.
I don't even drink, so
I was gonna say you don't even drink. I really don't. I have to work. No, I don't have to work. Maybe I do. I don't know.
It's a Sunday.
I might.
No, it's a Saturday. Excuse me. I have to work that day. I got to work in the morning, but it's all right. It's not bad.
I don't even know. I'll be okay.
So, Christmas, it's coming up. We got, everybody's trying to buy the last minute stuff. Big ticket items this year. Obviously, we got the NES Classic, which is nowhere to be found.
Unless you want to pay $300 something.
Yeah, no, forget that, man. If you're a gamer and you're really die hard into classic NES, chances are you've already got an emulator and you don't even need the NES Classic.
That's such a great word, emulator.
I know, right? But if you're kind of like a casual gamer and you just want to have a little bit of nostalgia, like myself, and you don't want to spend like $100-something on an actual old NES system, my advice is definitely just wait it out till after Christmas.
Just wait it out.
I think that
clearance.
I think Nintendo is doing it on purpose to make the demand higher.
Capital C. It's called clearance, folks.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, too, once they get it, especially you get the younger kids, and I'm a prime example. I really wanted an Atari Flashback.
Oh.
My mom got me an Atari Flashback a few years ago, right? And I'm like, okay, because I never had an Atari. So I'm like, okay, let me plug this in and play it. It was just a plug and play. I had 50 games on it, whatever. I played it one time, man. And I'm like, all right, this is not what I really thought it would be, and I traded it in. I brought it to my local record store. I think a lot of the millennials or the kids younger than us will get an NES Classic and play it and like, oh well, this is kind of they won't appreciate.
They won't appreciate it like
so
us. Yeah.
So they'll bring it in. And you go in a couple of weeks and I'll buy one for $40 at the exchange.
To be honest, the best time to really go shopping is right after Christmas. I know as crazy as that sounds because, especially with everybody's returning gifts that they really don't really want.
I know, right?
And then there's usually like massive sales because everybody's trying to get rid of it because it's end of the year.
Exactly.
I know this because of working in retail. Like my store that I work at, we're about to have a mess. We're even starting it on Friday, our clearance sale.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, good to know.
So, like, a lot of places, it's getting marked down. So, like, if you're in the Best Buy, I'm sure you go to Best Buy on the 26th and 27th, and you've been making some serious purchases.
Yeah, I got my boss, who's like super awesome. We did a Secret
I
Santa.
saw the GameStop.
I know. I got a GameStop.
Fucking jealous, man.
I know. I got to figure out what to do with this. I'm going to buy a lot of stuff that I don't need. So
yeah.
So we're going to check that out.
You could buy another Nintendo controller. So when you buy that NES system, you could get a second one.
Yeah, it's going to go right here in the office. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. That's a good idea. But yeah, any gamers out there, seriously, save your money till after Christmas. They'll be back in stock
Boxing Day, the 26th, folks. I'm telling you now. Monday, 26th. Take that day off and go shopping.
I'm already off, dude. So I'm
Must
excited.
be nice. I gotta work. I gotta
sorry.
literally. I have to like leave my parents at like 6 o'clock on Christmas Day. My sister and I both have to work the 26th.
Oh no.
So my poor mom is like, I'm gonna be, because my dad has to work the 26th. My mom's like, I'm all alone. I'm like, well, you could just come up to Cleveland and chill with us after that.
Oh my god.
Because we usually go to a Japanese restaurant on the 26th.
There you go. Do Christmas Story style.
Oh yeah.
Bam. All right, dude. I had the pleasure and it was an experience. I am a huge geek. That's why I have this podcast. I'm a huge nerd. I love the universe that is Star Wars.
Speaking of which, is that ticket you had, it was like that 4 or whatever the heck it was, that special
XD. I'm going to tell you all about it.
All right.
So I went, my buddy Joe, his fiance, and our buddy Sean, we all went together to go see Rogue One on Friday. We didn't do like the midnight or the late night shows on Thursday because we're
Adults.
Yeah, we're adults. We can't do that. But in the defense, we've done it before. We've seen Deadpool.
Now it's your Now
We
it's your,
learned our lesson with Batman vs Superman. That was I tried to defend it as much as I can. I'm not going to keep getting into it, but that was one that I'm like, wow, I really wish I wasn't out till 1 o'clock watching this. But we went and saw Rogue One. First of all, we went to Cinemark Valley View, beautiful theater. We sat down and
That's
had
a
food
really
there.
nice area.
Oh my god, they're putting the Mongolian barbecue. If anybody's ever
No way.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. If you've never had Mongolian barbecue, you are missing out.
it's craziness.
Love that.
So we got there, we got some food, and then we went into it's the XD theater. So basically, think of it's like pre-IMAX. It's the ceilings are gigantic, and the screen goes from the floor to the ceiling.
Holy Jesus.
It's curved, so it kind of wraps around a little bit.
So it's like a planetarium.
Yeah, and well, not so much, but like the crazy surround sound is just, and then reclining seats and all that. So it was fantastic, right? The only way that I'm going to see any kind of Star Wars movie, the Marvel movies, anything like that, I'm going to.
It's now going to be an XD.
Yeah, it's going to be there.
It blew your mind that much.
Yeah, and they have like the 3D XD. I think.
How
I'm
much
gonna
is
try that.
tickets?
It was only $12.
That's it?
Wasn't
That's not bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all. I especially for opening night of Star Wars.
And the
Could
fact
not
that it's
complain.
XD.
It was XD. So let me get into this, okay? I will come out and I will say this for anybody who has not seen the original trilogy. Go see Rogue One and then come back to this episode.
Or listen to our Wrestling Geek podcast.
Yeah, we listen to Geek Wrestling. Yeah, but yeah, guys, if you don't want to hear any spoilers for Rogue One, and I'm not going to get like too deep into it, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody, go ahead and just turn it off right now. Come back after you've seen the movie, and then
we won't be offended, we promise.
Yeah, it's totally fine, guys. All right, so you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. Right. So,
Okay.
Rogue One. First of all.
Okay,
First
so
of
this is number
This is 8.
Okay.
It's basically it's episode 3.5.
Oh.
Okay, it takes place between episode 3 and episode 4.
Is there Ewoks?
No, there are no Ewoks.
Thank God.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is the first of all, the beginning. The one thing I was anticipating was, again, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and they had the big Star Wars.
Yeah.
They did a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. They didn't do Star Wars. They changed it up because it's a prequel, because it's like a spin-off, right? So that was very, very crazy, right?
Prequel means before, right?
There. Yes, prequel is before.
This is Darth Vader pre-Darth Vader?
No, this is after Darth Vader. This is after episode 3, after he's become Darth Vader. They are building the Death Star.
So this is pre-episode 4
Yes,
then.
so this is like right before Luke Skywalker, all that fun stuff, right?
Okay.
So if anybody remembers episode 4, New Hope, obviously the Rebel Alliance, they do have the Death Star plans where they know that there is a weak spot where they can shoot into the reactor to make it blow itself up.
Who was, by the way, who did the voice of Darth Vader? Was it
James Earl Jones.
It was James Earl Jones again?
Yes. Yeah, so he's back again.
Okay, just checking. I wasn't sure because they had like something with Schwarzenegger voice in Darth Vader.
No, that's so no. Dude,
I saw that. Like, I don't know if it was just a parody or what.
That's definitely a parody.
Okay.
That'll absolutely never happen. So Rogue One is the story of how the Rebel Alliance obtains those plants. So we start off a young Jyn Erso. Okay, her father Galen Erso is the guy who he's a scientist, a technician, whatever. He's the one who is building the Death Star. He knows the ins and the outs.
I love the
he
Death
works.
Star.
Yeah, so he works for the Empire, who at the time it's not like it's obviously they have Darth Vader and all that stuff, but it's like he's a soldier, but his job is to build a Death Star, and against his will, he's taken to complete the job. Like it comes off in the beginning of the movie where he has kind of separate. He's secluded himself, his wife, and his daughter, and he's a farmer. Just to kind of get away from it. They find him, they kill his wife.
Oh,
and then Jyn
That's
Erso,
not cool.
who was played by I cannot remember her name right now. I'm so sorry. We'll have to pull her up on Wikipedia or something like that. But she's in hiding. She gets. I'm gonna probably just use the actors' names for the guys that I can't remember. She's discovered by Forrest Whitaker's character. And I'm
Forrest Whitaker was, by the way, in a very underrated movie called The Crying Game. By the way, if you've never seen The Crying Game, it's recommended.
Is that the one with the chick with the dick?
That is.
All right,
Everyone
I know that
knows about the
That's all.
crying.
That's all the reason I know about that, because I think it was in some kind of funny story there.
Yeah. But yeah, no. But he also was in Good Morning Vietnam. So Forrest Whitaker was in.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, it's a great
So
movie.
let me pull up all the characters, just because I'm trying to remember all the names of the characters.
So, for myself here, because I'm trying to remember everything from Star Wars. Okay, so
I know. Yeah, let me. You're not the Star Wars guy. So
well, I mean,
don't bite Chase's head off because he hasn't.
I've
seen
seen 4, 5, and 6, and I've seen 1, 2, and 3. So I know this is 3.5. So what? So this is basically Darth Vader is now Darth Vader. Do they show anything at all with Princess Leia's parents or Luke's so-called parents? What happened with that? We never really understood that.
Well, yeah, that's at the end of Episode 3, the first prequel, because Darth Vader is their father.
Yeah,
Padme does pass away after she gives birth to Luke and Leia.
that's right.
So the beginning of this, Felicity Jones, she's the one who plays Jyn Erso.
Okay.
She is discovered by, let's see, what is the name of Forrest Whitaker's character? Saw Gerrera. Okay, he's like this half human, half robot dude.
That's kind of cool.
He basically raises her, and she is in this world where the Empire's overseeing everything, killing off people. It's just like it's very almost. It reminds me of almost like Nazi takeover type stuff.
Politics. In the modern world.
Rather than fight against, you kind of look at it like a Luke Skywalker, where he's like, "Oh, I'm on a farm and I want to go have an adventure," right? She's like, "No, fuck this. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Leave me alone." She knows her dad is the one who is building the Death Star, but she
doesn't want to admit it.
There's a line where she's like, where they find her, and they're like, because they're trying to use her to find her father. This is the Rebel Alliance because they're trying to assassinate him, so they don't finish the Death Star, because the Death Star is going to just start destroying planets and shit, right? She has a line where she says, I like to think he's dead. It just makes it easier,
By the way, I used to love it when I think it was in Episode 3 when the Death Star was halfway done. I always thought that was
at the very end. Yeah,
that
was pretty cool.
It was always
like a shell of itself.
It was a shell of itself. It was like halfway done. I just thought that was always kind of cool and then they finally built it and stuff like that when they destroyed Leia's
in Episode 4.
In Episode 4, but I just thought 3 was kind of cool because it's like here's this Death Star in the middle of space, halfway done. So cool and techy.
Yeah, super crazy. It's a giant weapon,
one day maybe that could happen with our science. The way everything
I sure
is
hope
going.
not. I sure hope not.
I mean, I'm not saying takeovers like that, but it's kind of cool if that were to ever happen, building things like that in space. But like for me, as a guy who has seen the first 6 Star Wars, I've always been a fan of the older ones. Speaking of which, did you see that thing with Yoda singing about?
No,
there's this thing with Yoda.
No, I didn't see none of that. None of that shit.
I was a big fan of Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's just one of those things when you look at the new ones and you look at the old ones. The new ones are kind of, with J.J. Abrams, it's so, like the graphics are incredible, but it's amazing to think about the graphics back in the 70s when they created it.
Yeah, the special effects were definitely, they're state of the art. There's actually a real cool documentary. It's with the original Ford DVD release of the original trilogy. There was like a bonus disc, and it had like this crazy 3-hour documentary of how they made everything and how it was on a shoestring budget for a big budget movie.
Does George Lucas have any say in these Star Wars?
I don't think so. He hasn't directed the last 2. But
he really doesn't have to direct another movie in his life.
No, he's so totally fine. And I think the movies that he's more hands off, people tend to like a little bit more. But yeah, man, this is great. I mean, Jyn Erso she's a very strong character. Basically, you have your Rebel Alliance intelligence officer. It's Cassian Andor, right? He's like basically he's like your assassin, and the cool thing about this is like when we watched Star Wars back in the day, and like the good guys, the rebels, they were like, all right, let's go get them. We're all on the same page.
Lando Calrissian, man.
Yeah, Lando Calrissian. Yeah, but even like before that, right? Like the original one where they're like, everybody seemed like they were on the same page. The cool thing about this, it's a little grittier to the point where like you have the Rebel Alliance, who are technically the good guys, but a lot of them, there's a lot of shadiness going on,
Oh,
like the whole thing is like
politics.
Yeah, like the mission when they rescue Jyn Erso, right? And they're like, hey, we're gonna go find your father, and then the general calls Cassian Andor aside, who's like the main dude. And he's like, hey, I don't care what we said. The mission wasn't there. When you find her father, you kill him.
Oh.
So, but she doesn't know this whole time. So they go to find Forrest Whitaker's character years later, and he's like this crazy extremist, like he doesn't trust nobody. He's like torturing people.
Whoa.
All that crazy stuff. They find an Empire pilot. His name is Bodhi, I believe. Another one of the... Yeah, Bodhi Rook, but they just call him Booty in the Bodhi in the thing.
Booty.
So he like defected,
okay,
but they don't believe him.
Oh.
He has this message from her father saying, "Hey, this is the fucking weak spot," and it was supposed to go just to her. They bring it to Forrest Whitaker's character, who's like the last dude that she can trust, right?
Yeah.
As they're doing this, first of all, they have like this droid, right? K2SO, right? Just this real sassy, snarky English dude. It's basically, he doesn't take shit from nobody. He's hilarious.
He's a cooler C3PO.
Exactly. He's a super cool C3PO.
Sweet.
He can run and fight and shoot and all that.
That's fucking
He's
awesome.
I
want one of those.
I know, right? So they're on the this planet called Jada, right? I know I'm like kind of going all over the place here.
It's okay.
But it's actually going in order if anybody's seen it.
This is fascinating.
They're
I've learned more about episode 8 than I thought I'd ever would in my life.
Episode 3.5, yeah.
Episode 3.5.
I know. Well, it's an 8th movie. Yeah, it's so weird. It drives people nuts. I try to explain it to my wife, and it's tough.
Your wife doesn't seem like a Star Wars type.
No, she hasn't seen him. But they're on this planet. They find Forrest Whitaker's character.
Okay.
He sees the hologram. It's like a hologram message, like
the original one. Like
exactly.
She's like, "Help me, Obi-Wan," like that type.
So, as they're doing this, Darth Vader goes to the dude who's building the freaking Death Star, which is Director Krennic. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get all these names right.
Is Director Ken? Is that the one that
he's played by Ben Mendelsohn?
No, but was that the one who kind of almost got choked by Darth Vader in Episode 3?
No, that's freaking. Hold up, give me 1 second here. That is Peter Cushing's character, who was General Tarkin.
Are they wearing now? Do these guys wear the green outfits like they did? When they
so they got like the Empire
because didn't they wear what was the ones that wore red?
Those were the guards for Vader.
That's right.
They look cool, but they don't really do anything.
Ah, this fucking sucks.
But Vader's like, hey, so you got this Death Star built. I want you to see it tested. You know, so they're like, okay, cool. Let's blow up Jeddah. They don't know. So as this shit's happening, all of our main characters are there. Forrest Whitaker's character, half man, half robot. He's on like an oxygen tank. He's like, I can't run. He's like, you go. He dies along with the message, right? So they escape to the Rebel Alliance, and she's trying to convince them, we need to go, we need to attack the Death Star. But they don't have the plans for it. So they kind of don't believe her and whatnot. So they go and try to find her dad, which is, I'm sorry, I'm just going all over the place. Galen Erso, the dude who's building the Death Star, right?
Yeah.
Before this, we come across, did you ever see IP Man with Donnie Yen?
Yes.
Donnie Yen's in here, okay?
IP Man's an awesome movie.
Oh my god, yeah. So
it's on Netflix.
Yeah, so he plays Chirrut. I think I said his name right. And then he's also got his buddy right there. What is his buddy's name? Baze Malbus, played by Jen Wang. Basically, he's got like a super awesome cool gun, but they're buddies, right? These guys are from the old Order of the Jedi, right? Anybody listening who knows what I'm talking about, they understand.
So they basically were the surviving kids.
Yeah, but like the Jedi thing, it's kind of almost like at this point, it's like all the Jedi have been gone except for like Obi-Wan's in hiding, which they do make reference of.
Can I just still say this, that episode when they killed the kids? Oh,
episode 3, yeah, that was messed up.
Fucked up shit.
It was.
Fucking killing kids.
So at this point, like the Force and all that is kind of like it's kind of like a myth,
Yeah.
It's some people believe in it. So Donnie Yen's character, he's blind and he's like a fucking ninja.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
And he's fucking up like 12 stormtroopers with a stick.
And he's blind.
That's
fucking awesome.
A real cool thing is when they get captured, to be brought to Forrest Whitaker's character before the planet blows up, they put a sack over his head, and he's like, "Are you serious? I'm blind." To like mask them so they don't see the fortress. They find Galen Erso, and Cassian Andor, the assassin, he has a clear shot. He's about to pull the trigger, right? He has like second thoughts. He doesn't do it, right? And then, how I said the Rebel Alliance, sometimes like people aren't on the same page. Yeah. Well, they just start straight up attacking. So he ends up getting killed by the good guys by accident, like friendly fire.
The dad?
Yeah. So now you have like
they killed
Gareth Edwards. He did, what else did he do? What did Gareth Edwards do? He did Monsters in 2010. He did the reboot of Godzilla in 2014.
Monsters.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I guess it was an independent film. So they proposed the whole thing like, hey, let's go get the Death Star plans on this planet that's pretty much inhabited by the Empire. It's basically their base and all that, right?
This doesn't sound very smart.
No. So the whole council, including Jimmy Smits as General Organa, Princess Leia's adopted dad. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Is like, he's like the only one that kind of like has faith, and he drops the hint. He's like, you know what? I have an old friend who's in hiding, an old Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, who he's talking about, right?
Yeah.
Basically, Jyn Erso and Andor, Donnie Yen, and the big dude with the gun, K2SO, sassy
is that
C3PO.
The fish head people?
No. These are just the people, like the rebels. They're like, you know what? Fuck them. We'll get our own crew together, and we're gonna steal a ship, and we're just gonna go get the plans ourselves.
Oh my god!
So that's where the whole thing is. They're like, identify yourself, and they're like, we're Rogue One. Bam, there it is.
So that's how they got the name Rogue One.
So it's basically a suicide mission.
Oh.
They go, they get through this freaking barrier that like kind of cuts everything off, like the force field type thing. They sneak everybody on, and it's like just an all-out fucking war. Like you got AT-ATs, like those big like tank looking things, the walkers. You have air, yeah. Awesome. You have like space freaking space fights and all that, aerial fights between TIE fighters. You got Star Destroyers, you got X-Wings, Y-Wings, all that stuff, right? We see some ships from the Star Wars Rebels cartoon, if you guys are familiar with that. Jyn Erso, K2SO, and Cassian Andor, they are able to sneak in, get the plans, right?
Okay, they get the plans.
They get the plans, and they're like, shit, we need to get these back to the Alliance, but the gate is closed, right? To get back up into space, right? So they're like, well, fuck, we'll just broadcast it, because there's like this giant satellite dish, I guess, right? So they destroy this freaking barrier so they can actually get the files uploaded. I know. I'm doing this in like layman's terms right here.
We're doing a lot of hand motions.
We're doing this. This is how I would explain it to my wife, because I know you haven't seen them in forever. So, and I don't want to like bore you with all the names and all that. But
That's okay, because I'm learning.
So they're uploading the plans to the rebels.
Okay.
They get the plans successfully. At this point, Darth Vader is saying, "All right, we're gonna just fucking blow this planet up." At this point, all of the other characters have been killed.
Oh.
And we see them all die one by one.
That's depressing.
And the last two are Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor. Alone, he's injured.
So they killed Jimmy Smits.
No, Jimmy Smits is Organa.
Okay,
I'm
good.
losing you. It's okay.
No, I couldn't remember what Jimmy Smits.
We're just gonna call this "Explaining Star Wars: The Chase."
All right, so
and
all the good
July.
guys are dying.
Yes. So at the end,
So that's some shit right there.
they all die. Basically, everybody dies.
Well, that's a fucking sucks.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like they sacrifice themselves.
Why would you fucking kill the good guys?
Well,
That's like basically like that
well,
would
they have to.
That would piss me off.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they could have filmed it like, all right, well,
The bad
we'll
guys are
escape.
always supposed to lose.
Well, they do eventually.
Yeah, eventually they lose.
Well, this is
This is like episode 2 when freaking Luke loses his fucking hand. It pissed me off. You know how pissed off I was? I'm like, this freaking hero loses his hand. Nobody, he's like, now, what's that? Like handicap, because he has one hand. I mean, granted, it's like a mechanical hand he gets back.
Yeah, he gets his robot hand back.
Yeah, but
Everybody loses a hand or a limb in a Star Wars movie.
that's
Just so
true.
you know.
But Han Solo, well, he dies.
Yeah, he just straight up gets stabbed in the heart.
Billy D. Williams, he didn't lose anything
No, he's all right.
because he's Billy D. freaking Williams. That's,
right.
why.
He's too
Samuel
cool.
L. Jackson died though, didn't he?
Yeah, there's a fan theory that he's still alive though.
Samuel L. Jackson
I'm not-
never died.
I'm
Do you,
not gonna
do you know
get
he's
into
like
that.
68 or something like that?
Oh yeah, he's up there.
Happy birthday, Samuel L.
So the coolest scene for me at the end, and I know I skipped over a lot of stuff. I'm gonna bring when we get our buddy Joe in here, and we're gonna go into a full detail of the film.
An
But
hour long of Star Wars, even more.
yeah, we're probably gonna have to like do like a freaking
Two-part
like a
episode.
two-parter. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a two-parter. But
Mind blowing episode.
they get the plans up to.
So they got the plans at least.
They got the plans.
but they just all die.
Yeah, so they.
So in a way, it's kind of a win-lose situation.
Well, coolest thing at the end is
Does the girl die?
Yeah, they're all dead.
The girl dies.
The planet blows up. They just said, "All right, well, we're just gonna stay here." There's no way they can escape.
so
at
they
this
kill a
point.
kid.
Well, she's grown up at this point.
Oh,
She's played
okay,
by
never
Felicity
mind.
Jones.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen.
I
this.
know. I'm losing you. It's okay. It's
No,
all right.
I'm just like I'm trying to remember all these things.
You have to go. Just go see it.
I just need to go fucking see it. You're
Yeah.
right. I thought we were gonna go see it again.
I'll go see it again. I don't care.
Okay.
They get the plans up to the rebels. Darth Vader's like, "All right, well, prepare a boarding party."
Oh.
So you have all the people who are on. We don't know which ship it's on yet.
Oh.
We have these rebels who have the plans. It's like on a disc, right? It's all in the lights go out. All you see is this red lightsaber light up. Darth Vader's in there, fucking people up, force choking, throwing people around, chopping people up.
Yes.
And they're like passing this disc. They're like, take it, to get it away from him. Cool thing is this dude, like, the door won't open. He slips it through, and you just see, like, the lightsaber go on the other end of the door. It obviously went through the guy. He gets stabbed through the back.
That's fucking awesome.
But they get it. They escape. They get the plans to what is Princess Leia's ship.
Okay.
Door opens, says, what do you think this is, Your Highness? Turns around, it's a completely CGI, perfectly done remaster of Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia. Looks exactly like she looked in the 70s. She's like, this is some hope. They take off. This leads off exactly where the very first Star Wars begins.
Mind blown right there.
The very minute that it starts.
Yes.
So, like, that's the part that did it for me. I'm like, there's no way. Like, you can literally watch that and then 4, 5, and 6 all together.
So that's like brilliant, like, screenwriting.
It was perfect. It was perfect how they did it. I knew it was obviously it was going to be a prequel. Obviously,
so really, it's should be Star Wars 3.5.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's Star Wars. It's episode 3.5. We have episode 8 coming out this coming December.
So are they just doing a Star Wars every December? Is that what we're just getting to?
They're doing 7, 8, 9. We got 7 last year, 8, and then 9. This was a prequel, and we're going to get a Han Solo prequel. It will be starring the dude from I cannot remember his name. He was in the fourth Transformers movie, the one with Marky Mark. He was the younger dude. And Donald Glover is going to be playing Lando Calrissian.
Josh Danielson or Josh? Is it Josh, whatever his name is?
I can't remember his name. Honestly, I don't know. If I seen him, I know who he is. But
as long as it's not Shia LaBeouf.
No, it's not Shia LaBeouf. No, not at all. But, man, I tell you what. For the kid in me, this was awesome because... And I don't know, man. Let me just explain one thing. Is that, like, when I was a kid, like... I was introduced to Star Wars a little late.
Well, we all were, because we were all, it was made in the 70s.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll never forget it, right? And this is before I wrap it up, it's a snowy day, right?
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about Power Rangers, too.
Oh, my God, that's right. Let me get into that. Let me get into my Star Wars story. Well, I'm going to do a solo story the next time. All right. I'm going to go into full detail. We'll get our buddy Betty Joe on here and everything. But yeah, man, I give Rogue One 25,000 thumbs up. Like, I cannot wait to see it again.
Mind blown. I learned more about Rogue One today than I probably did from reading any movie review about it.
It was funny. It was trying to explain it and make it make sense, and I did a terrible job, but it's okay.
Fine. So basically everybody dies.
Everybody dies, but it makes sense why they die. They sacrifice themselves. It's a suicide mission.
It's like sainthood.
It's crazy.
Catholicism.
But yeah, let me talk about Power Rangers. Really excited about the Power Rangers movie. We have Goldar that's going to be in the movie. We found out through a toy commercial. Goldar basically looks like a just big slab of melting gold. He doesn't look like the flying monkey dude from back in the day. I know a lot of people are pissed off about that. Yeah, I wish they put a little bit more detail. I think it was a little bit of a lazy design with Goldar, but as long as he evolves and changes, I think that's cool. That's fine.
Goldar. When I think of gold, I think of gold dust.
That's right, gold dust from the WWF. You're excited about Blade Runner.
I am.
Blade Runner 2049.
All right, so Blade Runner, real quick about it, is basically a Blade Runner is a person who goes and kills a bunch of people who are like robots. These people that they're in are like illegal. They try to think they're humans, but they're not. And so what a Blade Runner does is basically kills these robots that think they're human. And so, like, Harrison Ford is a Blade Runner, and that's what happens is that he kills, like, this guy, I think his name was Hal, in the original one. So Blade Runner is just kind of cool because it's literally like you're killing robots who think they're human.
Okay, so this is me being silly, like, kind of like not knowing all about this.
Mm-hmm. It takes place in the future.
What's a replicant? I know there's a thing called a replicant.
That's basically what that's a robot.
That's a robot
that thinks it's a human.
So it's kind of like a Terminator. Almost.
Correct. It's like a Terminator in a way. It takes place in the future. It's a really just... Blade Runner is was way before its time when it came out back in the 80s. That it was like very... It's a popular movie, but not as popular as it was. So it's kind of like a cult classic because of that. Like, it's not like when people think of Harrison Ford, it's not like a movie people are like, oh my God, it's a must-see Harrison Ford movie. Because it's so scientific, like... not even Star Wars type. But it's just cool because he literally just goes and like kills replicants. He literally goes after replicants and kills. And there's a lot of like weird sci-fi. Like he hooks up with like almost hooks up with a replicant. It turns out it's a female who is a robot.
Okay.
But you find out, these robots.
Pussy. All right.
Yeah. And that's how you find out, because you ask them certain questions, and then they really start like panicking because like they don't know the date that they're born.
Got it.
Things like that.
So, did you see the trailer for the new one yet?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not a big Ryan Gosling fan, but I think you have to have a big name with that, because I forget who else was in the original Blade Runner besides Harrison Ford. There was some decent actors, but
so Harrison Ford is playing himself.
Yeah, correct.
Not playing Harrison Ford, but he's playing his original character.
Correct.
Okay.
It's just more in the future. I forget. I think it was 2030. I can't remember what the original one took place, but it took place in the future.
So this was 2049.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the title, so it's. I need to watch the original one. I remember my friend of mine.
I will say the original one, like it's very 80s, like very like RoboCop original type, like
is it like Total Recall-ish?
Kind of Total Recall, like really bad picture quality, like very like grainy, but it's like kind of like.
I'm sure you can find like a remastered version.
Yeah,
of
I think
it,
there
like
is one out there.
Yeah.
But it is it's a different movie. But I just loved Blade Runner because that was probably my favorite Harrison Ford movie at the time.
Yeah, you liked it more than Regarding Henry. you liked it more than.
I will say The Fugitive is probably my favorite one. I didn't do it
more than Air Force One.
Air Force One was kind of cool. Get off my plane.
Yeah, it actually was like the president that kicks some ass. That was actually pretty cool.
But I mean, it's a really cool scientific movie. That's one for sure I'll definitely see, even though it's got Mr. Notebook Ryan Gosling.
Mr. Notebook. He's in Drive too. So
he was in Drive. Yeah. And what was the other? He was in a movie when he was really younger that was like really popular.
Oh, I have no idea.
It might have been What's Eating Gilbert Grape or something like that. I forget.
Nah, that was
Leonardo DiCaprio.
DiCaprio and Depp. Yeah,
that's right.
I think, right? Yeah,
he was in some young movie. I have to look it up.
Check it out. Well, I feel bad. I took up this whole time with my completely outlandish.
No, it's okay because
explanation of
it's kind of
Rogue One.
fun because when we go on these random tangents, sometimes it's kind of fun. It makes the day goes by.
All those Star Wars fans are like, "You asshole! You ruined it. you messed it all up."
Honestly,
because I'm just going back and I'm forgetting names and all that.
Honestly, it's okay because I know there's some people that get into Star Wars seriously, like how we get.
I love it. Look at my bookshelf.
Yeah,
I mean,
like I get into like sports and like music. Like I'm a huge, I'm a huge band buff, music buff. Like White Town is probably one of the best one-hit wonders of all time. Mm-hmm. How unique it is. Your thing is Star Wars. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think Star Wars, Marvel. I'm just a freaking nerd. But
you should get a bleacher creature. They have bleacher creatures of like Deadpool and all of that.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I might go pick that up for my my GameStop gift card because they got a lot of cool toys at GameStop.
They do.
So. All right. Well,
Did I tell you I got Hunter the Stone Cold?
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
And Macho Man. And he got The Rock now.
I'm a little jealous right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little jealous, but
every time I see the one with the Suicide Squad, I always think of in Deadpool. I always just want to share it, but like I don't know why those things make me think of you.
Yeah, well, hey, maybe look at my freaking office.
That's true.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to come at you next week live. We'll probably do 2 episodes. We'll probably do our normal episode, and then we'll do...
probably somebody's going to be drunk.
Yeah, and then we'll do our drunk episode at the party. Guys, for all past episodes, be sure to check us out at hardcoregeekcast.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter at HCGeekcast. Chase, we should all be tweeting you at ChaseM262.
That would be great. Thank you.
And myself, Mr. Showtime84. Guys, hit us up on iTunes and Podbean and all those fun places. We will see you next week. Happy holidays.